Hello and welcome back to another English lesson with me, Greg, your British English teacher. Now today I'm going to be answering a question from one of our YouTube viewers who wanted to know how we use be willing to and also how we can use the word will not as an auxiliary verb, not like I will go, but instead as a noun, like a will or the will. It's a great lesson for you today, so let's get started. So I'm Greg from onlinelanguageacademy.com, and if you want to get more confidence in spoken English to help you in your professional life, then Online Language Academy is for you. Okay, you can try a class with one of our native English teachers by clicking up there. Okay, remember this video comes with subtitles, and I want you to wait until the end because I've got a question for you that I want you to answer in the comments below. Right, let's get started with the meaning of be willing to. Like I am willing to. She is willing to. What's the meaning? Well, it basically means that you are happy to do something. Even though you don't necessarily want to do it, you're happy to do it. You're ready, you're enthusiastic, and yeah, you will make the effort to do this. You're happy to do it. You are willing to do it. Now, as always, I'm going to put this in a bit of context for you to make it easier to understand. So let's have a look at 3 examples. When I was younger, I was willing to do anything to get a job. All right? I was willing, I was ready to do anything, to walk from place to place, to handwrite 100 CVs and hand deliver them to each and individual shop in the town where I lived. I was just absolutely ready to do anything. Okay? I was willing to do whatever it took. I was willing to do anything to get a job. Example number 2. I don't know if she will be willing to travel so far to visit me. Okay, so imagine I've got a friend a long way away. Thousands of miles away. She's a good friend, but I don't know if she will be willing to travel so far. I don't know if she will be willing to pay so much money to visit me. Okay, so again, it means, will she be ready? Will she be happy to do that? Will she do it? I know she wants to, but is she willing to do it? And example number 3, in the 3rd conditional, is I would be willing to help you if I lived nearer. Okay, I would be willing to help you. So you've got a problem, you need my help, and I really want to help, but I live so far away that I can't help. But hey, if I lived nearer, of course, I would be willing to help you. Right, let's look at some related words to willing. If you want to make it into a noun, the noun is willingness. Willingness. You show willingness to do something. This is a very common collocation. Show willingness. These are 2 words that often go together. For example, she shows willingness to help her classmates. Now, it's a quite formal word, so it always reminds me of teachers writing reports about the students. Yes, she's a good student and she always shows willingness to help her friends and help her classmates. In spoken English, we might normally say she's happy to. She's happy to. She's always happy to help her classmates. But in a more formal English, we can say she shows willingness to help her classmates. All right, the adverb is willingly. Willingly. And again, it's quite a formal word. We could say, I would willingly listen to your point of view. I would willingly listen to your point of view. Which means I would be willing to listen to your point of view. All right, again, in informal English, we would just say, I would be happy to listen to your point of view. Or I would happily listen to your point of view. All right, and finally, will. Will as a noun? What? Yeah, it confuses a lot of students when they see will as a noun, like a will or the will. They're like, what? I thought will was just, to talk about the future. But no, we can actually talk about the will to do something, which means kind of like the desire to do something. Desire is very strong. It's a much stronger feeling than the will. If you have a desire for something, you really, 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 really want it. But if you have the will to do something, you just want it. So a couple of very common expressions are, oh, I'm losing the will to live. I'm losing the will to live. Example that happened to me yesterday. I was at the bank and in front of me there were 3 quite old people, and it was taking forever. Each person just had the longest conversation with the person at the bank. I was in a hurry and I was just waiting and getting more and more stressed, and I was like, oh my word, I'm losing the will to live here. A nice little saying, a nice little expression that we have in English is, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that means if you really, really want something enough, you will find a way to do it. Even if it's difficult, even if there are big obstacles in front of you. Where there's a will, it's like where you really want something, where there's a desire, where there's a will, there's a way. Now say it quickly. Where there's a will, there's a where there's a will, there's a will, there's a way. Yes. Okay, now it's not a very common word outside of these 2 expressions, if I'm being honest with you, but these are 2 very common expressions, and hey, use them if you want to sound more like a native speaker. Finally, there is another meaning of will as a noun. Will is the document that you write to say what you want to happen to your money and your belongings, your possessions, when you die. Okay, you write a will and the lawyer stamps it, I guess. I don't know, I haven't done the process myself, but yeah, the will is the document that says what you want to happen to your belongings when you die. It's never too early to make a will. All right, I said I had a question for you today, and I do. So my question for you is this. How many hours a week are you willing to work on your English? How many hours a week are you willing to work on your English? It's always a good idea to do a little bit of English every day, even if it's watching YouTube videos in English or reading the news in English. In total, how many hours a week are you willing to work on your English? All right, great. If you've liked this lesson, please do 3 things. Give it a thumbs up. Yes. Share it with your friends on Facebook, social media, whatever. And of course, subscribe for more videos from me. All right, I'm Greg from onlinelanguageacademy.com. Thanks a lot for watching and thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.